Good to see you again after a very long time, Dio, my very good brother. I'd like to just ask you, good to see you again.
Rufai.
I'd like to just ask you this. A lot has been said about it, and congratulations to the APC on completing, their rally. He had a mammoth rally in Lagos, big crowd out there, and all of that going for the APC. But I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. Number one will be about the gaffes. People question his health and mental state because of things like Bala Blue, Ulaba, and things like that. Gaffes, endless gaffes. That's number one. Secondly, a lot of Nigerians still want to know about the drug allegations against him. Thirdly, how old is he and what primary school did he go to?
Thank you. So let me take a question one by one. I would start from how old is he? Of course, the facts are there. Ashwaju is 70 years old. Even in 1993-94, when he ran for Senate, the facts and the details, the age there correlate with the calculation of his age now. I have to pick up your first and second question. I'm also stressed. Now, that leads me to your first question, which is the issue of the gaps. Number one, yes, some people have, argued that some of those things were doctored, and I have reason to believe that. But also, there are some, for example, who are probably, you're reading something, you're reading a speech on the teleprompter, and you see an error. Sometimes you look at what has been typed on the paper, and it may not, it's when you process it that you then realize, so there are errors of computers, of typings and all of that. But I don't believe that, largely all of those are things that have come out from Achiwaju. Some of them are doctored. But even forget the doctoring argument. As human, I, a young person, I was recently somewhere. I was coming from Akwa Ibom. I'd done about 10 states. I was in Delta, Amai community. I was tired and I was stressed. And there I was addressing people in my front, a young man in my late 30s. And I said, on election day, please go and vote. And in my head, I was seeing the broom. I wanted to say broom. And suddenly I was almost saying umbrella. I quickly had to correct myself because I'm human. I was tired and exhausted. So there are people, even the PDP candidate, had made statements, and corrected himself. We're not infallible. Let's stop being, what is it called? We're human. You could forget any other argument. If you had stress, like this man had worked, 36 states, over 500 meetings, even if he made those statements, it is human for him to be stressed sometimes, like I have been, and like I almost did before I corrected myself quickly. So let's not, you can, instead of emphasizing on one moment of maybe a slip of tongue, I think we should emphasize on the great things that he has done in Nigeria, in particular from his years as governor of Lagos,
you get a chance to talk about that now.
Nigeria.
You get a chance to talk about what primary school did he go to? Afterwards, then you'll get to talk about some of the things you're doing as you wrap up your campaign. What primary school did your candidate go to? Because these are the questions that have dogged the campaign thus far. What primary school did he attend?
I don't have the information clearly on my head here, but I'm sure that someone who has graduated all the way from primary to secondary and went on to Chicago State University, the records are there. For anybody who is interested in his primary school, can go on the internet, on social media, go and read his biographies, and we'll find those information available there.
Okay, at page 27.
But Rufai, this is what, Dr. Abati, this is what I think that we need to begin to look at as a nation. When he was governor of Lagos State, transforming the economy, rebuilding the city, turned around Babbage that was flooded and turned it away to a co-Atlantic city. It transformed the whole Ahmadu Bello Way axis, transformed Maroko into Oniro, and built the Lekki axis all the way down. Rebuilt the road that led into Egon, Lasso and all of that, and did all of those. We should be focusing on substance and the impact that this person wants to make. About primary school or no primary school, he has the capacity and the mental element. You attribute a lot of things to him, but then you focus on the
don't worry yourself. Even the Nigerian constitution says if you have school start or is equivalent, or even if you didn't go to school, once you can speak English and you attend one night school, you can be president of Nigeria. That's what the constitution says. But anyway, I wanted to draw your attention to page 27 of this day newspaper today. where we have, statement by your candidate. To my compatriots, why I seek your mandate to be president of Nigeria. So all of these things you are telling us, he talks about what he did as governor of Lagos State and all of that. And other candidates, the 3 other leading candidates, also have their statements in that newspaper today. But I wanted to draw your attention to what happened yesterday in Abuja, the second signing of a national peace accord, where it was agreed by all the 18 political parties that whoever wins, whatever the outcome will be respected. And if anybody has any concerns, they will raise the concerns through legitimate and legal means. Now, that same meeting yesterday reported that spokespersons have been the problem since the first accord was signed in September 2022. 44% of spokespersons, 19% of political candidates, 16%, I think, of party members just disobeying the need for peace. And I want to ask you, since you are leading the Jagaban army of youths, is there any guarantee that your party and the group that you lead will respect the outcome of this election as agreed upon at that peace accord yesterday?
Why would we not be excited about winning? Why would we not respect the fact that Nigerians are going to give us their full support? We've been on the ground. We've been in states across Nigeria talking to people.
No, it could go. No. The election could go in any direction. We're talking about the outcome.
Wherever the election goes, we will weigh the realities of the outcomes of the election. But we can assure you that our people in the APC are not going to resort to violence. We're not going to, get involved in anything that would, affect the integrity of the election. I think this message should actually go to the people who have been attacking our people on social media, who have been intolerable with anything about Bola Ahmed Tinubu or the APC, who believe without a doubt that their own candidate is the only one who can transform Nigeria. I think we should be talking about how are we going to manage the expectation when they fail in the coming election on Saturday by the grace of the Almighty. I think that is what we should be more concerned about. How are we going to deal with those who believe strongly that they're the only one that can turn Nigeria around?